other way.
What is going on, guys? Great for Kieran. In this video, we're going to be talking about the NBA players dropping out of the FIBA basketball tournament. Now, for those who do not know what that is, this is a tournament very similar to the US Olympics. But as far as how this goes out for the basketball team, it is just strictly basketball and is not as big as far as the players that usually do play it. Now, despite the fact that not as many big players play in this tournament, is very much been reaching as far as an approach that many players have not been doing it, including players as far as recently who have just dropped out in Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Damian Lillard, DeMar DeRozan, and even Kevin Love. So whenever we're thinking about this, we're talking about multiple All-Stars dropping out of this type of competition. Now, usually despite this fact that we do normally see lots of big name players not go in for the FIBA basketball that much, we definitely have to think about this as a cautionary thing. Now, many people, of course, would have to imagine that this has something to do with, of course, injuries and things such as that, rest during the season. We've definitely seen that as an approach for many players now, but it is very much getting very cautiously strange that we're seeing it from so many players during this summer. Now, I, of course, not only want to talk about that, but, of course, whether or not that this will be a trend going into the Olympics, which is where we normally don't see too many of the top end players not play in it. Now, as far as this season, how it has gone, we have, of course, not seen too many dropouts as far as from the international players from their respective teams. Now, we have heard that Ben Simmons will not be playing for the Australian team, but as far as the main cast of people, we still have lots of players still playing for their country, including Giannis for the Greek national team, Rudy Gobert for the French, and so on with the other players as well. So we haven't really heard Mitch dropping out from those types of players. So it's very much cautiously strange as far as how we're seeing this. Now, many people may sit there and think, well, this is a way for you not to go out there and play basketball. But one thing I do want to, of course, mention is the fact that, yes, that may be true that you can be injured playing a game of basketball, but these NBA basketball players do not just sit at home and not play a basketball game until the season starts. They're players that do go out there. They do play in just scrimmaging off games and all that. And it is definitely taken into that account. Now, of course, we know about the major injury, which was the Paul George injury during the 2014 season, which very much was a devastating injury and was very well regarded as far as what took a lot of people out of playing during that year. We saw players like Kevin Durant dropping out right then and there after that happened, and we're seeing the fact that this may be something into an account here. But despite that, I think that that was a complete freak accident as far as what happened. That basketball court was off regulations as far as how it was in an NBA game and how it would be done internationally, as the goalpost was closer to the out of bounds than normal, which is what caused him to break his leg playing back on defense. Now, we, of course, noticed the fact that many players, not only did we see a lot of good players applying for the U.S. men's team, we had to have a lot more people who were declined because of the fact of the talent that comes from the U.S. men's team, which usually gives them a huge advantage going into these types of tournaments. Now, this year, it could be questionable as far as certainty to win the gold in this event. Now, normally we do see the fact that the U.S. men's team usually has superior talent as far as to the other countries, but this year, we're definitely seeing the fact that other teams may not have the complete overall talent, but may have enough top heaviness that could lead them across the U.S. team as far as for this gold medal. Now, this, of course, would be very bad news and is very bad news for Greg Popovich, who will be taking over all of the international U.S. men's team and will be coaching all the way up till 2024 the U.S. team during the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. But as far as the play that we're going to be seeing, this is going to be very interesting as far as a tournament to see who will come out with this, not only with just the way that it really seems like this is a spread out year as far as the talent that goes out there. Of course, like we all do know, Greece with a Antetokounmpo brothers set there. You have teams with just great all around. France usually being very good as far as their player. Spain, who used to be, of course, a major powerhouse, a little bit off as far as how we do know, knowing the fact that the Gasol brothers are not as big as what they used to be in their play that they used to have in that as well. So whenever we see something like, we know the fact that this is very much an interesting tournament when it comes to the other countries trying to compete for this. And we could see the fact that the U.S. men's team doesn't win gold for the first time in a long time since that 2004 team that was very much shockingly got the bronze with that year with LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and Dwayne Wade on the team, along with other players such as Tyson Chandler, who it was a very big shock as far as their defeat in that tournament. So could we be due to see something like that this season, which would be just shocking in that way? And of course, will this trend off going to the Olympics? Something that, of course, more bigger name players do try to attend. It is in a very, to me, a good location as far as Tokyo in comparison to last time in Brazil. It just was a little bit as far as with, of course, at that time, the Zika virus scaring off many people as far as athletes from attending that Olympics. There shouldn't be anything as far as that from that standard that should try to deter any type of player. But we will see the fact that of what's going to come from this and whether this is going to be a trend or not for future years in international play. Now, of course, it's going to be interesting no matter what, and I'd like to know what your guys' thoughts are as far as how this is going to play out. What team and what country do you think will be a surprise team to really look out for? I definitely do like seeing this happen as far as what I see from the international play from other countries. I think the fact that me watching Jokic at a rookie put up 30 points in 2 games against the U.S. men's team really gave me the idea that he was going to be able to do good in the NBA. And I definitely thought the fact that he was going to have a good year this year, and he did end up having that, and the Nuggets ended up having such a great season. But guys, tell me, who do you think is going to have a breakout as far as a country? What country do you think is going to win the gold? What do you think is going to happen? And do you think the fact that this is a trend that's going to go on from there? But guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure that you guys leave a like and subscribe to become part of the Greek Army today. And as always, this is Sparta.